Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, today we're doing another side-by-side comparison, and this is the best that Android has to offer in the mid-size tablets. We do have the Nexus 9 versus the Galaxy Tab S 8.4. Now with these two models, we're going to see which one just is going to be the best for you and in which categories. So let's check out between the two, which one is going to be better for you. Now, the first thing we always take a look at when comparing two tablets is their look and feel between the two. So for the Nexus 9, it is a 8.9-inch screen, and it's silly enough that it is a 4:3 ratio. As many of you know that's seen this show, I do not like that it's a 4:3 ratio. It makes it look silly on an Android tablet because all apps are made for a 16:9 ratio on Android, and I don't know what they're doing trying to change that. But it did not work, and it looks rather awkward for an Android tablet. This texture is not as good as last year's Nexus 7, not as bad as the one from 2 years ago on the Nexus 10, but overall it's just kind of eh. It definitely leaves fingerprints all over the place. Although it feels like a nice texture, just the look of it is so bland, and it just really doesn't look as nice as you would want in a tablet. It's very much a plain slate tablet, which is, to be fair, what Nexuses generally are. However, with the Galaxy Tab S, you have a difference of colors on this tablet, and it definitely stands out in terms of the way it looks. This pattern texture is obviously going to be a lot like the Galaxy S5, but it definitely feels better compared to the S5. Whereas the S5 does feel a lot cheaper, this one has a softer touch to it that does not have fingerprints on it or oil from fingers. It's just really a lot nicer and so much lighter. You can easily hold this in one hand, whereas the Nexus 9 you will get tired much quicker. For that reason, and just the obvious look and style reason, you're definitely going to want to go with the Galaxy Tab S for look and feel. Now, when we compare web browsing, the first thing we always take a look at is the screen quality between the two. Now, on the Nexus 9 side, we do have an 8.9-inch screen with a 2048 by 1536 pixels per inch, which does give us a respectable 288 ppi. When it comes to the Galaxy Tab S, we do have an 8.4-inch screen with a 2560 by 1600, which gives us a pixels per inch of 359. Now, you're obviously going to have not only a lot better quality screen overall here, not only being LCD versus AMOLED as well, but you're also going to have a better screen to body ratio. More of the screen isn't wasted on here, where on the Nexus it is definitely less. You have more wasted space in comparison. Now, we also do want to note while we're here to also note the weight difference, which is considerable, and just in terms of every which way, it is going to be a smaller tablet on the Galaxy Tab S versus the Nexus 9. Alright, now that we've looked through that, let's actually check out and see which one does a better job at web browsing. Now on this one we do have Chrome beta, and on this one we do have the internet browser. And both are going. And the Nexus 9 finished just a hair quicker than the Galaxy Tab S. Now, this is where we see the difference in screen resolution, though. On the 16:9 versus 4:3, you can see that this cuts off at this article because it's not designed for websites, whereas this one does actually show you a lot more of the website. And again, this is just because of the aspect ratio. Now, let's see how both move. Okay, now let's do pinch to zoom. overall it seems overall, when it comes to these two, they look about even, really. The Nexus 9 actually loaded the web page quicker by a second or so. You definitely get more space on here, but it really depends on what you're going for. In terms of overall, they're very similar. The pinch to zoom seem to be a little bit better on here, but the double tap definitely seemed better on the Nexus 9. So overall, we're going to call this a draw between the two in terms of web browsing. Now, when it comes to sound quality, the first thing we always take a look at is the speaker placement. The Nexus 9 has the much more ideal speaker placement, coming in with front speakers on both sides. Now, the Samsung tablet did also have speakers on each side. However, they are placed on the side where they can't be easily muffled, to be fair. When holding it in landscape, they aren't easily kind of clouded, but at the same time, you do want them front facing more so. So let's see which one just does have the better sound quality overall.
Game is changed, the lights go on, they scream my name, the curtain goes down, I remain the same. But all that money and then I'm sky high. The sky, silly hole, equal the price. Cali headed after the stable. I was a boy with a dream, had my head in the clouds. Now I'm sleeping first class, got a bed in the I was a boy with a dream, had my head in the clouds. Now I'm sleeping first class, got a bed in the clouds. Hit my pops to pick me up, and he said he was proud. King shit with a beanie on instead of a crown. Yeah, counting all my blessings. Shout out to the Most High. Started from Most High, cheapsies to the business. Now I'm literally so fly, motivated by my brokenness. Yes, that's why they call it coach, right? Yeah. Back when I was broke, I was asking why I'd go through all.
So overall, it was actually a closer one than I thought it would be. I thought the Nexus 9 would honestly just blow it out. The Nexus 9 is the overall better one, but while the Nexus 9 does have a better bass, the vocals always sound better on the Tab S. Now they're set to the same type of style, set to the same type of everything. So overall, the Nexus 9 though is better, if anything, just because their speaker placement of being front-firing speakers, which is always ideal. Now, one of the most important things a tablet needs to be able to do is display good videos. We watch videos all the time on our tablets, whether it be YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, whatever your poison is, you're going to watch lots of movies on your tablets. So, when we compare these two, we do have to take a look at a couple of things. One of the biggest ones that is most noticeable right off the bat is that they look around the same screen size, even though the Nexus 9 is a bigger screen. And that's simply because the Galaxy Tab S at the top is a 16:9 ratio, so it fills out the video just as much, if not a little bit more, than the Nexus 9 does in its smaller size compared to ratio. So let's play them both and see how each one does.
You liking the new phone? The Note 4?
Yeah, did you know that it comes with an S Pen? You're just really fortunate to have one. The features are great and fast and so fast that, dude, I'm not doing this. You know what's going to happen. If we start doing this, it's going to consume our whole weekend. It'll be all I think about. I'm not exaggerating. Oh, he's in. You're darn right I'm in. I will dominate you. I will have a black coffee. I'll have an Americano. So actually, I'm going to change mine to a cappuccino.
So hopefully you can just see in just a lot of these images, you can clearly see it, but wow, it is so night and day difference between these two tablets in terms of quality when it comes to the more vibrant colors compared to the clear, definitely just in the details of his head. It's going to be the Galaxy Tab S. It's just a lot better off for watching movies. The aspect ratio does help, I'm not going to lie, as well, just because when you're holding it, it feels a lot better and doesn't feel like wasted screen space as the Nexus 9 gives you. And if you want truer color, well, you can always just have that with just a quick setting change, and now you have truer color than even this one does, instead of having just a faded color. So you're going to have much more vibrant or truer to life color with the Galaxy Tab S 8.4. Now, when it comes to the cameras on these two devices, they both are pretty similar. You have 8 megapixels on the rear cameras, however, their interface is a lot different. On the side here, the Nexus comes with the stock camera for Google, which you can get on any Android device simply by downloading it. So this is available on both, but you have lens blur, video, camera, panorama, and photosphere. On the button aspect right here, you have flashlight, grid, timer, and of course front facing. On the Galaxy Tab S, you do have those features, but you do have a bit more. You have things such as fast motion. You can do lots of effects built in and preview them before taking it. And of course, you have lots of different modes, from beauty phase to shot and more to instant HDR, and so on and so forth. So let's take a look at the overall quality though between the two. And in terms of selfie taking, neither one stands out too much. It seems slightly to go to the Galaxy Tab S in terms of detail, whereas this one kind of fades off in the detail. This one goes a little bit more, but overall both are going to be fairly similar. Now, when it comes to clarity, however, this is definitely where the Tab S stands out, and definitely in color reproduction. Not sure if you can really see it on translation, but this is more of a beige white, where the background is entirely white, which this one did capture. Then when we move in, we can definitely see a clarity difference between these two in terms of just all of the show, in terms of all that you have on here. The Fire TV is not only more legible, but the background behind it is very accurate, as well as things like Twitch and iHeartRadio. You can definitely see more detail on them than you can on here. It just seems kind of like a hazy filter on the Nexus 9. Now, in terms of color reproduction, that we're going to have kind of a mixture between. The Nexus 9 actually got the under part a little bit more accurate than the Galaxy Tab S did. It's kind of in the middle between them, but it leans more towards, I wouldn't say exactly in the middle, it leans more towards the Nexus 9 in terms of coloring for that purpose. However, in terms of the Dragon Balls themselves, easily goes to the Galaxy Tab S, being the true orange that the Dragon Balls are, compared to the brownish orange that we see on the the Nexus 9. So overall, for camera, it will go to the Galaxy Tab S 8.4. Now, when it comes to gaming, this is actually kind of a tricky one, because although I did see some games that were missing on the Tab S 8.4 compared to, say, my cell phone, there are far more that not only do not work on the Nexus 9, but often crash. And that's simply because of the processor that's on the Nexus 9. On the Nexus 9, you have an amazing Tegra processor that apps really don't utilize at all, and for that reason, they don't work. Now, this can be a big problem, especially when you just want to play some good games. Overall, it was a tough decision between the two, because although I did see not all the games I'm used to on the Galaxy Tab S 8.4, overall, the 8.4 at least doesn't crash as much as the Nexus 9 does when it comes to games. Now, don't get me wrong, when you go to the Tegra zone and find a really good game, it looks amazing on the Nexus 9. But there's not that many games on the Tegra zone that work specifically for this one, because even ones like Half-Life that work on the NVIDIA Shield don't work on this one. So for that reason, and that reason alone, we're going to have to give it to the Galaxy Tab S for for being the better overall choice for gamers in this between these two. Now, overall, when it comes to battery life, both of these two do match the 8-hour average for something that's going to be good in terms of the screen size. So both of these do get to that point. However, when it comes to the Nexus 9, it just slightly beats out the Galaxy Tab S 8.4, especially since the last update it got. The battery life is lasting longer than it did before. So for this reason, overall, I do recommend the Nexus 9. In terms of longer battery life, it gets about 8.5 to 9 hours, whereas the Galaxy Tab S gets on average about 8 hours. So while both tablets will easily last you out throughout the day, if you wanted to go a couple of days without using it and then you pick it up and use it again, then you're going to want to go with the Nexus 9. Now, when it comes to extras, this is where I had a bit of a difficult time, really. Now, of course, in terms of hardware extras, the Galaxy Tab S easily beats out the Nexus 9. You have an IR blaster, you have a fingerprint scanner, and you have expandable storage. You can add up to 128 gigs. So why would I even bother talking about the Nexus 9 between these two in terms of extras? Well, simply because of the fact I have to count the extra as also updates. Updates really give the Nexus 9 a really big advantage, and it's not in one of our other categories. So because extras pretty much can encompass all the extra stuff, you have to give updates to the Nexus 9 because you're going to get Android 5.0 already, of course. We don't even have Android 4.4.4 yet on the Galaxy Tab S. So overall, we're still waiting on updates. For this reason, even though, again, in terms of hardware, the Galaxy Tab S has a lot. Also, even in terms of the Office suites, it is laughable how much Handcom Office is superior to the Google Drive docs. It's just so far above it. But overall, even with all the software extras Samsung gives you, it has to be considered that the Nexus 9, the updates kind of rival all of that just because of the updates themselves. So for this reason, the extras category will be a tie, going between all the latest software updates to lots of software add-ons such as split screen and a better Office suite and hardware capabilities. So you decide which extras you rather have. Now, between these two tablets, we really do have original same price point. You have a $399 price point starting off for both at 16 gigs. However, you do have to also note that as right now, at this very moment, as I'm filming, the Galaxy Tab S is going to have better sales prices, especially throughout this holiday season. You're looking at a $50 difference now, and who knows how much it will be in the future. Yes, the Galaxy Tab S is going to give you overall the better bang for your buck, simply because, especially this holiday season, you're going to get a much lower price, most likely even up to $100 less than the Nexus 9 normal price. So for this reason, you do have to give it to the Galaxy Tab S for being the better overall bang for your buck. Alright, let's tally them up and see who won. When it comes to look and feel, the Galaxy Tab S 8.4 is definitely going to take it. Just a lighter, thinner design, easier to hold, and doesn't smudge as easily. When it comes to web browsing, both really are fairly good. The Nexus 9 does load a bit quicker. Pinch to zoom is going to go to the Tab S, and double tap is going to go to the Nexus 9. Overall, though, the differences are very minimal, and you really have to just give it a tie in this purpose. When it comes to music, the front firing speakers definitely pick up the Nexus 9 a little bit above the Galaxy Tab S. It's going to just give a better music experience if you listen to a lot of music on your tablet. When watching movies, however, the Galaxy Tab S will definitely be your better choice. Just going to give you a much more vibrant screen, better quality, and overall brighter as well. When it comes to the camera quality, both front-facing cameras are fairly close, but overall the detail and the color reproduction is going to go to the Galaxy Tab S. When it comes to gaming, it is a tough choice. Although the Nexus 9 has the better gaming processor and graphics card, it's not made for Android, and a lot of Android apps don't use it. therefore they just crash. So by default, you have to give the gaming purpose to the Galaxy Tab S 8.4. Battery life, however, is going to go to the Nexus 9, lasting about half an hour to an hour longer versus the Galaxy Tab S. Instead of going just 8 hours, it'll go 8.5 to 9 on average. When it comes to the extras, do you want the latest software updates on the Nexus 9, or do you want the ability to do split screen, add-on storage, and use it as a remote control? This is up to you, and that will be for the extras category, as rated as a tie. And finally, when it comes to price point, the better bang for your buck, the Galaxy Tab S is going to be more discounted this holiday season, and therefore the better bang for your buck. Alright, when we tie them all up, guys, it is going to be the Galaxy Tab S 8.4. Yes, in Android, this is going to be the best mid-range size tablet you can get for this holiday season. It beat out the Nexus 9 in a lot of different categories, with the exception of music and battery life. Overall, though, if you want a great look and feel tablet, great for watching movies, gaming, and better bang for your buck in terms of price, you're going to want to go with the Galaxy Tab S. However, if you want to go with good music quality and a little bit of a longer battery life, the Nexus 9 is one you should consider. Thank you for watching. Please give a thumbs up down below if you like this video. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.